Hello and welcome to ABW Loan Watch, episode number 4. It's not actually episode number 4. They aren't numbering these, but never mind. Right, first player we're going to talk about is Joe Willock. He's on loan at Newcastle at the end of the season. I'm sure you know that. Joe played the full 90 minutes on the right-hand side of a central midfield 3. It was a 2 in the last game. In the 3-1 away loss at Man United, Newcastle were quite unlucky there. They had a penalty turned down and they had a penalty given that shouldn't have been a penalty. He got an Opta rating of 6.1 with a 70% pass success rate, completing 14 of his 20 passes. He made 4 successful tackles, more than any other player on the pitch for either side. That's pretty good considering that's not his job. Newcastle are still 17th with 2 wins in their last 6 league games. Now look at the pictures. I've changed the size. They all fit the screen perfectly. I know. Thank you very much. Ainsley MaitlandNiles. I nearly messed that up. He's on loan at West Brom. Ainsley played the full 90 minutes on the left-hand side of a central midfield 2. They had 1 playing in front of them in a 0-0 draw away to Burnley, even though they went down to 10 men after half an hour when their centre-back and ex-Gooner, Sami Ajayi, got sent off. Ainsley got an Opta rating of 6.9. 20 of his 23 passes were successful. That 87% was the highest for anyone on his side and the second best from either side. West Brom are still 19th in the Premier League. Here we go. Konstantinos Mavropanos on a loan at Stuttgart to the end of the season. Mav's team went to Cologne. That's Podolski's favourite team, apart from Arsenal, and won 1-0. He got an Opta rating of 7.2, playing on the right side of 3 centre-backs and went off injured after 85 minutes. No news yet on whether it was a knock or something worse. That win keeps Stuttgart 10th, only 6 points out of the Europa League playoff game position. They're not having too bad a season there, are they? Here we go. Grumpy Pants. Matteo Guendouzi, and I'm sure that's how you say Matteo. He came on for the last 22 minutes in a 3-0 home loss to Red Bull Leipzig, or Rasenball if you must. It was 1-0 when he came on. He did a dive in his own box. John told me about this. Yahoo that to have a right old giggle. I don't know why he did it, but there's videos, so go and have a look. He got an Opta rating of 5.6, which is, I think, it's a bit mean when you completed 26 of his 27 passes. Hertha are still 15th. Matteo has played 17 games for them in the league this season with 2 goals and 1 assist. Look, so far I haven't managed to mess up. This is the next one. Sead Kolasinac on loan to, here we go, Shackle. I'm sticking with that. They lost 4-0 at home to Dortmund, and Kola was captain with Mustafi on the bench, even though in the last game he got an 8.3 and was man of the match. Christian Gross looks like a withered potato wandering around having no idea what he's doing. They'll sack him before the end of the season. Kola got his second booking of the season and a rating of 6, made 1 tackle, which I find hard to believe, but there you go. That's whoscored.com. And had a 93% pass success rate with 22 completed passes. This is the Wunder goal by Haaland. And at that point, he took that from roughly on the right-hand side of the box, which is the left-hand side for Shackle. And that's where Kolasinac should have been. But Kolasinac instead was to the right of the ball in the picture. He was busy marking his own player. And so this player here had to come in from somewhere on the pitch and cover at the left-back position because Kolasinac was nowhere to be seen. I'm slightly taking it out of context. I didn't see the game. I only saw a video of it. Next one. Oh, it's been a terrible week for Atletico Madrid. They drew 1-1 away at Levante in midweek and then lost again to them at the weekend 2-0 at home. They played Levante twice in 4 days in the league, as the first game was meant to have been the second game of the season but was postponed. So they moved them all to midweek. Lucas came on as a sub in both of those games. He played 9 minutes in the first game, the 1-1. He played 29 minutes in the second game, the 2-0 loss. He got a 6.1 in the first game and completed all 5 of his attempted passes, 100% commonly known as, and got a 6.5 in the second game, where, again, 95% of his passes went to the place that he wanted them to. So he got a 195% pass success rate. I think that's how it works. He got 1 tackle in each game. Then again, he didn't really play for long, did he? Here we go. Mr. Saliba. Nice lost 3-2 away at Marseille midweek, but Saliba wasn't in the squad, and then played Metz, who are, I think they're about 7th in Ligue 1. at home on Saturday and lost 2-1. Saliba played the whole game, got a 6.8 rating. He didn't make a single tackle. Again, I question whether... City didn't even make any attempted ones. I do question whoscored.com. I might have to find a more accurate source because Transfer Market is a complete joke. I'll tell you about that later. No, they're not. They're a partial joke. He made 4 clearances and had a pass success rate of 47%. Not his job, but considering how well he played against PSG, seems to be the harder the game, the better he plays. Looks like he had an awful game. Nice have dropped down to 16th now, only 2 places above trouble, which would be in France. You have 2 go down, 2 come up, but the third place team in Ligue 2 have a playoff against the team that finished third from bottom in Ligue 1, and that's where they're headed. Ben Sheaf. This may well not be a picture of the game he played in, because the lower down you get with these, the harder it is to find pictures of the games they actually played in. So, Ben Sheaf, actually I forgot to include Jordi Tutu. Jordi Tutu. He's at Cardiff City. He didn't play, which is why there's no photo. Jordi is still out injured as his Cardiff side. They won 2-0 away at Luton. Then they won 4-0 at home to Preston. They've now had 5 consecutive wins in the Championship and a 7th in the table, but they are top of the form table. I do not want to see Cardiff get promoted. Do you hear me? None of it. Now on to Ben Sheaf, who's at Coventry. Coventry had 2 home games this week. They lost 2-0 to Norwich, which is not surprising in the Championship because Norwich are brilliant. And he was on the bench as they beat in-form Brentford 2-0. And then he came on and played defensive midfield for the last 17 minutes and got a rating of 6.1. Coventry are now 20th. But I mean, to beat Brentford, that's pretty decent because they're a good team. Right, on to an actual picture from the actual game, because Charlton seem to care. Matt Smith recently joined Charlton, played the first part of the season at Swindon. He was too good for them. Charlton are in League One, trying to get promotion. Matt started at Charlton's 1-1 away draw at Fleetwood, and he came off after 57 minutes and got a rating of 6 and played in central midfield. Charlton are currently 9th. Tyrese John Jules, I don't have a picture for him because he didn't play. He is still out with a torn muscle and missed his team's 1-0 home loss to Accrington Stanley. I don't know who they are. And a 3-3 home draw with Hull City. You know, the team that we beat in the FA Cup final in, was it 2014? They are now knocking around in the lower part of League One. Sad times. Doncaster have now got 1 point from the last 4 games, but are still 4th. Actually, I think that draw took them from 5th to 4th, even though they'd lost all the other games before that. So Tyrese, you need to hurry up and get back. They need goals. Now, another picture, a game I couldn't find a picture for. So I thought I'll get this picture because it looks cool. Mark McGuinness, Ipswich have had 2 consecutive home 0-0 draws. Mark played the whole game versus Northampton, getting a 7.6 rating. That is very, very good. Playing at centre-back in a normal back 4. And he wasn't in the matchday squad for the 0-0 draw with Oxford United. Ipswich are now 14th in League One. They were pushing for promotion. And for them to be that far down the league, a bit worrying. Maybe someone else we can lend them. Maybe a Balogun would go there and get 3 goals a game. Who knows? Talking about people whose surnames begin with a B. Daniel Ballard is at Blackpool. Too many B's, too much alliteration. I don't like it. Daniel missed Blackpool's 1-0 home win over Rochdale in midweek and then played the whole game and got man of the match with another... Oh, sorry, that's a bit loud. Man of the match has a 7.6 rating as Blackpool went to Portsmouth, who are a half-decent team, and won 1-0. Blackpool have moved up 3 places to 13th in League One. Oh, dear. I don't have my earbuds in, so I don't know how loud I am. And I think my ears have popped. Oh, another one I've got a picture of. This isn't the picture from the game. It's just trying to get a picture that is half decent that I can make crop it into StreamYard Labs thing, whatever this is called, Stream Duck. It's quite hard. So who are we on to now? This is Harry Clark. Hello. Of Oldham Athletic. Harry missed their 4-3 loss at Forest Green Rovers in midweek. Now, the 4-3 loss, I said about Transfer Market, you go there, they have that game down as a 1-1. They've had games down for lower league teams that our players are at. They've got the result there, and the game hasn't even been played yet. Transfer Market, you need to sort your lives out. Because I do a good enough job of making myself look like a tool, and I don't need you helping. Thank you very much. .com. Anyway, he played the whole game in the weekend when they drew 2-2 away at Tranmere Rovers, even though his centre-back partner got sent off with a second yellow card after 47 minutes. Harry got a 7 rating. Well done, Harry. You've done pretty good there. James Olainka, Southend United. He wishes he was at Sheffield United. Maybe he doesn't. They are in League Two, and James missed their 1-0 home loss to Bolton with an injury. Southend are currently 22nd in League Two. Bolton used to be our bogey team in the Premier League. They're now in the bottom 5 or 6 of League Two. Sad times. Football, you need to help these teams out. Yeah, give them some compensation for Bruce Rioch. Actually, they should compensate us because he was rubbish. Now then, another stock photo, because I cannot find any pictures of Joseph Olowu at Wealdstone. I don't even think anyone cares. I'm surprised if anyone's listening. Give us a wave if you are. Checking the analytics of this. Most of you only watch for about 80% of the show, which is pretty good. Thank you very much. I found a couple of grainy photos, but I couldn't tell if it was him or not. So I didn't want to put it in case it wasn't. So they're awful. And then poor old Zek Medley. Kilmarnock, who I shall call Killy, lost 1-0 at Aberdeen. He came on at centre-back after 29 minutes when they're already 1-0 down. So not his fault. Killy have now lost all 4 games that Zek has played, but in the last 3, they only by 1 goal. Now that's pretty good because that Kilmarnock are rubbish. And if when he plays, they didn't concede any goals in the last game, and the 2 before that only conceded 1, whereas all season they've been letting in loads. Kilmarnock are now second bottom in the Scottish top tier on goal difference only, but ready for this. They've lost their last 8 league games in a row. Oh, mama. That's awful. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's not tidy. It's awful. I think that's it now. Yes. So I don't think there's anything else to say. The under-23s have lost again. I think they lost 3-0 away at Man United, possibly. I don't have a window open. And before that, they lost to Man City. They're not having a good time of it. Balogun didn't play. Nelson didn't play. Not too good. Right, if you have enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, give it a thumbs down. And if you're new, give it a subscribe or don't. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, go and get a link to this and email it to everybody you know and tell them they must watch. Write it on bits of paper and go and put it through your neighbours' letterboxes, but socially distanced. Put it on a stick and shove it through the letterbox. Yeah, let everybody know. Right, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow night on Tuesday because it's now 10:17 on Monday. It took me 3 hours to do this. I was watching Craig and Dan and Lee and Harry on Same Old Arsenal, and you people delayed me because I was getting involved. A very good show tonight, gents. Well done. But we're back on Tuesday night. It is going to be Josh and Chris and Femi with Dan Potts from Same Old Arsenal. He will be on, and I will be pressing the buttons because I have done 217 shows this month, and I'm tired. If you play Valheim, let me know. I'm playing it and I'm doing well. See, there's nobody here to tell me to shut up and get on with it. What's that, Betty? Shut up and get on with it. Betty tells me to shut up and get on with it, so I'm going to go. Thank you very much and good night.